Hey guys, it's Carly back with another What I Watched video. I figured I'd do these every 2 weeks. Seems to be working out pretty well because I tend to watch a good amount of stuff within 2 weeks. So I'm just going to go through, give my opinions on these as always, and my ratings. So I'm just going to get right into it like always. And first thing I watched was Bats from the year 1997, I believe. I said in one of my update videos that I always wanted to pick this up just because I thought the cover was like interesting looking, like it had those bright like purples and whatnot, so I always wanted it in my collection. However, I did not really care for this movie in particular. It just wasn't for me. I mean, it's good for what it is, but I was just kind of a little bit bored by it. But I mean, it is good for what it is, and I gave this a 6 out of 10. Then next up, I watched The Innkeepers. Just bought this on Blu-ray. Yeah, I was curious about this movie for a while, mainly because I work in a hotel and I always love checking out horror movies that are themed inside hotels or motels or things like that. They always tend to interest me now that I work in one myself. And yeah, this movie wasn't bad. It definitely had its creepy moments, but it was kind of a little too long and dragged on a little too long for my liking. But I mean, I liked how there was only like 2 characters in it. I always like when there's not too many characters, and it kind of builds the atmosphere a little more. So I did appreciate that. And yeah, it's an okay movie. It's not the best, but it's okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Then next up, this isn't really a horror movie, but it has, they talk about a couple horror films in it, and that is Electric Boogaloo, the wild untold story of Canon Films. And I thought this was a really fun documentary about Canon Films, and it's got like scenes from Texas Chainsaw and TCM2 and things like that in it. And yeah, not really horror, but like since it has those movies in it, I had to count it. And yeah, it was pretty fun. I did enjoy this one. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I didn't really know about a lot of the movies in it, so couldn't really give many opinions on the films, but it gave me a lot of stuff to like look into. There were some interesting titles they talked about, so there's that. And then next up, I checked out didn't check out, rather. I rewatched Jeepers Creepers 2. I bought this on VHS because it is in great condition. As you can see, someone must have dropped off a bunch of quality movies at Goodwill that they like never really watched or something, because I found quite a few there one day. And yeah, I'm a fan of Jeepers Creepers 2. I feel like part 1 is a lot better. Like I said, I like how there's only 2 characters in the first one. I feel like it makes it a lot creepier, but this one's more fun, and I feel like it's a little less dark than the first one. But the beginning scene always gives me chills, and I always like the parts with like the dad seeking his revenge with his like son and his dog a little more than the bus stuff. But yeah, it's a good film, good sequel. Gave this one a 7 out of 10. And then next up, I watched The Woman. This is another one I had been interested in checking out because it's by the same guy who did May and like the Masters of Horror episode Sick Girl, and I'm a big fan of those, and it's got Angela Bettis in it as well. And I like this movie a lot. Like, I thought it had a very good soundtrack and it was used properly, and there was I thought the woman was pretty creepy, but I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but something about this movie just didn't feel fulfilling to me. Like, it felt incomplete, like, and I can't really describe why. It just, like, I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite, but I did enjoy it a lot. With that being said, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. It is a good movie. I think I just liked May better and his other work a little better, and that's why I gave it a lower rating. But anyway, moving along, this is also not really horror, it's more of psychological thriller, but it's by Adam Green, and that is Spiral. My friend told me to check this out, and for a while I just was putting it off because it's not completely horror, more of a thriller really. But I ran out of stuff on my list of things to watch, so I figured I might as well have the opportunity to put this in, and I'm really glad I did because I really enjoyed this. I thought the characters' performances were really good, really well done, and buyable. Like, I bought all of it, even though some of it seems a little like unrealistic, like the friendships and relationships, but I thought it was handled very well, and there's like almost like 2 twists at the end, like right one after another, and I thought that was done really coolly. This is actually only PG-13, and yeah, I gave it a 8.5 out of 10. I highly recommend this, even though it's not completely horror. Then next up is one I did not care for that much, and that is the Relic. This is kind of like, it was on like the bottom of my stuff to watch. Like I said, I've been collecting VHS a lot lately, so anytime I see like any horror VHS, I tend to pick it up just to keep the goodwill selling them, for one thing, and just because it's cool to have all these horror VHS. But I'm kind of seeing now that that's kind of not the best idea. Like, I should just get ones that I want and think will be interesting, because when you're watching a movie like this, it kind of just looks like a low quality movie that you could get for better quality, as opposed to like watching Halloween or something on like VHS. It would be more nostalgic. This is kind of just like, it just feels, it's hard for me to follow movies like this when the quality's not too good. But I thought the monster was cool in this movie, and I was kind of bored by the like scientifical aspects of it at the beginning. But I don't know, I'd probably have to check this out on DVD or something. It's probably not that bad, but I did give it a 6 out of 10. And then lastly, I checked out Near Dark again. Now, I saw this at a drive-in last year, which was pretty cool, but the whole time it rained. It was like an all-night drive-in, and the whole time it rained, and we were in the car with the windshield wipers on, and it was really hard to pay attention, and it was the first time I had ever watched this, so I can't really say that I watched it, you know what I mean? But I decided to check it out again. I bought it on Blu-ray like soon after seeing it at that drive-in, and just didn't have interest in rewatching it since I had just kind of saw it. But I thought, might as well pop it in and see what it's actually like. And I hate this cover, by the way. It kind of looks like it would be like a Twilight sequel almost. But yeah, I really did enjoy this movie. I'm glad I gave it the second chance. I love the atmosphere and the music that plays like in the night. Like, it seems perfect and moody, and yeah, this is a great film. I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. And that is it for this video. Not as much as I usually have. There are some other things that I watched, but I don't want to give them away because we might talk about it on the podcast or in other videos, so I usually don't include those in these videos. But yeah, for now, that's all I have to talk about, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.